Alright, welcome to Medieval Engineers. This is the map Castle vs. Castle, the Capture a Flag edition. Now, each team has a setup of 5 to 10 players. It can also go up higher. It depends on how many people you actually want running around smacking each other in the head with hammers and whatnot. I would suggest 10 to 20 players, but however you want to play it, that's how you play it. Now, in order for the game to progress, each team has to go to their own castle. You have the mountainside castle, which is pretty heavily defended around, having cliffside everywhere but the front and side here. Each castle usually has a door with barricades on it and such. You have to go ahead and break through those to get inside. Once inside, you're able to get into the courtyard, which then you can continue on and head right inside here. There's a fully stocked armory with plenty of swords and maces for everyone who wants to grab one. There's resources in each container. There's a blacksmith and smelting furnaces. Each one of these containers are full of crossbow bolts. And, well, as you can see, plenty of crossbows. Now, along with the armory, there is also a fully functional kitchen, full with drink bar and all. As you can see, food's pretty much stocked up. You can last a few days with several people. There's also a table for sitting around for your mealtime. You have 2 barracks B on this side, and Barracks A on the opposite side, which supports up to 8 players in the barracks alone. It's 4 players per side. After that, you have a storage area. You got access to the roof, which leads up to the front of the castle. It's a nice little view. Now, along with the castle defenses, you have a bunch of these barrels that are kind of sitting around the place. If you're wondering what they're for, they're actually filled with tons of crossbow bolts, which you can use to defend, because, I mean, let's face it, you're going to need a lot of them. Now, up here is the King and Queen plus the roof access. This is the King and Queen's basically their room for whatever they use it for, because let's face it, in this game, rooms are pretty much useless, other than the beds. Then you have your last stand room, which is kind of like a safe house in the castle. This is basically used for if your castle is breached and you got enemies flooding in, they're able to get through. You basically have your king and queen fallback, because, like in chess, if you lose either one of them, you're kind of screwed. Now, this is the last stand supply room, which has a few weapons and some arrows and some food and stuff like that, so you can hold up in there for quite a while, if need be. Alright, so basically, as you can see, castles are pretty much stocked up, so supplies won't be a current issue. But I would not just kind of not collect up resources, because you will have an issue later on at some point. Each castle has its own respective flags, which you can always replace with your own house flag for whatever house your team is going for. Points of interest. These are the towers I spoke of. Players have to fight over these and replace the flag on the top with their house flag. Now, in order for you to be able to progress to the enemy castle, all towers must be taken over. Now, players can always fight over them and try to keep them from getting captured, but you really won't get anywhere just defending it all the time. Also, there are points of interest beside the towers that will help you with resources. For example, a lumbering hut, which is just kind of a little area you can gather up, and it's all near woods, so you got plenty of wood stocked up. Also, there is a couple mines There's the heavily fortified silver and gold mine, known as the All That Glitters Gold and Silver Mine. Each mine has quite a bit of resources in it. The gold and silver mine can be used as a win condition. Once the mine is depleted, basically the teams count up what silver and gold they have at the end, and whoever has the higher wealth will win the game. Each mine is equipped with several pickaxes of steel quality, as well as several ore containers. Then you got random buildings like this, which is a farm that was raised. It was a mill farm, which is mainly decorative, but you can always take it over for, you know, just shits and giggles. Then you have a herbalist hut, which has herbs growing out the front, and flax straw for gathering up to make bandages. If I remember, I think it was those two for bandages. So that's another point of interest you want to keep an eye on and try to capture as soon as possible. It also has several bags of seeds and I think some hoes and stuff. And oh look, all right. So those should not be there. Those were actually thrown there by a friend that decided it would be funny to throw stuff at people. Okay, so beside cleaning up after people, this is the iron mine, known as the Fistload Iron Mine. This iron mine features quite a bit of iron as well, but it doesn't have as much as the ore as the silver and gold mine. Because the silver and gold mine, they have two different types of ore in it, so it will have to have more, and it's set for more of a winning condition. Now, as far as iron and such that you know where it's at, this will pretty much allow you to be able to get iron and not have to search for it early on in the game. Of course, with the setup, you have your pickaxes and such, and whoops, I don't think that tree wants me to go anywhere. Of course, over here you have another little point of interest. It's not really anything important, but, you know, let's face it, avalanches suck. And this little shack kind of was in a bad place. Over here is another massive area for trees and another logging area for gathering wood. Now, if you focus on a lot of wood defenses and such, if your opposing team captures both of these, you will have a heck of a time gathering wood without, you know, having your collectors getting killed all the time. There really isn't too much more to the map at the moment, but plans are to change that and add more points of interest and other little Easter eggs, so to speak. Both castles are identical, so you don't have to worry about the other team having an advantage that you don't have other than the terrain. But this is the game setup. That's the map. Look for it on Workshop. Enjoy! And as I stutter to get words out of my mouth because apparently it don't want to work today, subscribe, and I will have more videos on various games for whatever reason, because that's what YouTube's for. Have fun. Peace out, all.